there were some things that I highlighted tonight that I do want to share with you. And I don't know if you agree or disagree with me. There were some things tonight that I enjoyed, aside from just the baseball. I enjoyed in the bottom of the eighth inning when Joe Torre, a gentleman that I've got an immense amount of respect for. I had the opportunity about 3 years ago when the winter meetings were in San Diego to sit down and interview Joe Torre. It was fantastic. And he couldn't have been nicer to me. Before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview, I got to talk with him on the air as well as off the air. And 84 going on 85, walks to the mound tonight in his New York Yankee uniform to take a picture out. Cam Smith from the White Sox. That's cool. And I hope Cam Smith appreciates Joe Torre was the guy that came out and took the ball. And he'll have that in his memoirs forever and ever and ever. And I got a beautiful picture of Joe Torre sitting with a headset and a microphone with a coach, John Kentera, interviewing him at the winter meetings a few years ago. And so that was really cool. Another thing that I thought was really cool were the two kids from Tijuana. I've got a great listening audience, and I have for many years down south of the border. Okay, and I hear from you folks all the time, sending me messages, or if you see me out in public at a ball game or a sporting event, you always say, "Hey, Coach, we listen to you all the time down in Mexico." Well, tonight I thought it was really cool that we had two kids from Tijuana playing this All-Star game, and two kids that grew up with one another in Tijuana. Alexander Kirk, the catcher for Toronto, and Jonathan Aranda from Tampa Bay, and he was the last hitter for the American League tonight. Went 0 for 3, but he didn't lose it. Kyle Schwarber won it for the National League. That was an impressive performance. And the polar bear, Pete Alonso, didn't even get to swing the bat. I'm sure he was all giddy and fired up. He was in the cage like he normally is when he's in the home run derby. He didn't compete this year. But I thought it was really cool, the two guys from Tijuana who grew up hanging out together, playing a little ball together down there. They made this all-star game tonight. I thought that was really cool. Kyle Stowers, kid from El Cajon Christian High School, went 0 for 2 during the game. Ended up being in the home run derby. And he hit what did he Kyle hit? I think he hit one home run in the home run derby there. Things were so crazy. Yeah, he got one home run leading off for the National League, and hey, it played a part in it. And I remember watching Kyle Stowers play for Coach Mitchell out there at Christian High School. A few years back, I remember I saw him play a couple of games actually against Cathedral Catholic, and you knew he was going to be a good hitter. He ended up going to Stanford and eventually going to the Baltimore Orioles. And then prior to last year, he got traded by the Orioles to Miami. He had kind of a tough first year, man, having a great year. Went 5 for 5 in his final game before the All-Star break with 3 home runs on Sunday. So those were cool things. I thought it was really cool. Freddie Freeman talking with Ken Rosenthal over the PA system. And obviously, the first, 12 years that Freddie Freeman played in the big leagues, he played in front of the Atlanta fans. They gave him a nice ovation. He didn't play a lot tonight. He had one at bat. Dave Roberts took him out when he was playing first base so he could get a nice ovation from the crowd. I thought that was really cool. I thought throwing out the first pitch tonight, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, and the big cat, Andres Galarraga, I thought that was really cool. I loved it in the top of the seventh when they stopped the game and they had this great tribute to Hammer and Hank. I thought that was incredible. They showed his 715th home run to pass Babe Ruth. And I got to share a little note with you. And some of you may remember this if you're in my age group. Once upon a time, remember the old Claremont batting cages right there off of Claremont Mesa Boulevard, the Family Fun Center? I remember when Hank Aaron came there and he hit in the cage, and it was a big deal. They handed out stuff, and I remember getting a pamphlet and a poster, and you couldn't get in there with a crowbar that day. Hammer and Hank came out, and it's hard to get close to him because there were so many people there, but he took some swings at the Claremont batting cage and signed autographs, and I'll always remember that. I couldn't wait to get down there, and great memories about Hank Aaron. I was watching that game as a little kid. that night, and Bill Buckner went back to the wall, and Tom House backhanded that ball in the bullpen, number 28. Of course, became a great pitching coach, Tom House, and then got into working with quarterbacks, worked with Tom Brady a little bit, but just on throwing motion. But I thought that was a great tribute tonight. I thought it was cool. In the bottom of the seventh, they came back from a commercial break. Joe Davis and John Smoltz. There was a picture of my man Dave Parker, the Cobra, who died here a little over 2 weeks ago. They talked about the Cobra a little bit, and of course, he's going into the Hall of Fame later this month, which I'm excited about. I wish he'd be there, but nonetheless, he finally got into the Hall of Fame. So those are some of the things that I really enjoyed tonight. Again, Schwarber hits 3 balls out, and the National League wins in the swing off the home run derby contest, 4-3. What do you think about it? If I was a fan and I was at the game, I would be bitterly disappointed. I would be bitterly disappointed. As a fan sitting in my home, I guess I was disappointed too. Because I watched the home run derby on Monday night, the Cal Raleigh one. And the other thing, and I know why these guys weren't a part of it. And you know as well, because of the injury factor. Ohtani should have been part of it, and Aaron Judge should have been part of it. But they had, 3 guys on each team. I mean, I guess probably the 2 biggest stars would be Schwarber and Pete Alonso. I mean, I look at the American League, Brent Rooker, Randy Arozarena, Jonathan Aranda. They're not like exactly household names. And neither is Kyle Stowers. Schwarber and Alonso, people know who they are because they play for high-profile teams and they hit a lot of home runs. But you'd have thought maybe Ohtani or Judge would be out there. How about if it would have just been you pick one guy? You pick one guy, each guy gets 3 swings, and it's Ohtani against Judge. How cool would that have been tonight? But again, baseball is just going a different direction. It's going a completely different direction. It's all about entertainment. It's not necessarily, it's more about swagger than substance. It really is. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I know Tony Clark met with the media today. I know that Rob Manfred met with the media. I'm telling you right now, and I put a tweet out about this. I think all the TVs, ESPN, I know they're getting out of the baseball business, but ESPN, Fox, the MLB network, I don't know if they would do it, but I'm telling you right now, they better start talking to Nippon Baseball, Japanese Baseball League, and they better talk to the KBO, because I'm telling you right now, the way things are going now, and they'll wait to the last minute, I think we're not going to have baseball at the start of the 2027 campaign. I really don't, because the owners and Rob Manfred are going to dig in, and they want a salary cap, but there also has to be a floor. You can't have teams like Colorado and Pittsburgh not spending money and getting TV revenue and not spending it. You've got to, if those guys are going to do that, then get new owners. And I know they're going to always have guaranteed contracts, even though I think you should be able to have maybe 5 guys with guaranteed contracts. Everybody else has got to bust their ass to earn a living. Okay? I think we'd see a better product if guys had to lay it on the line. Guys would be playing when they're banged up a little bit more. They would, run out ground balls a little bit more. I think they'd play the game the right way a lot more. I think there'd be more asked of them. I think, to me, it seems like if you're paying a guy a lot of money, you ought to expect more out of him. It seems like to me, these guys that are making a lot of money, unless you're high character guys, these organizations don't expect a lot out of these guys. Yeah, they expect them to hit home runs, drive in runs, and pitch well, but you got to do more than that. You got to do more than that. And to me, the more you make, the more should be expected of you. That's the way I look at it. But I'm telling you right now, I don't see how any way, unless they really get down to the brass tacks a year ahead of time and really hammer this thing out, I can see a lot of butting of heads, and I can see a lot of things going sideways. And I think the owners are finally going to say, you know what? we're tired of paying guys for not playing. I mean, even the Dodgers right now, and I use the Dodgers, and they got more money than anybody. They've got $111 million on the IL right now. I mean, that's more than a lot of franchises having their entire 40-man roster payroll wise. And I'm not trying to pick on the Dodgers here, but, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And you've got to have some type of salary cap. I mean, football, basketball, hockey, they all have some type of salary cap. And really, they have to, because guys like you and I, how much more can we afford to go to a ball game? If we want to take our family, and I don't like to bitch, moan, and complain about this because you either go or you don't go, but there's a lot of families, they're kids that love baseball and they can't get to a major league game. Maybe one game a year if they take the entire family, or maybe dad just takes the son, or a daughter maybe that's really into baseball. And you can't take the 4 or 5 family members. It's just too costly. Tickets, food, let alone the parking. I mentioned at Petco Park last time I went, I got a deal. I got it for $50. That's cheap down at Petco these days. So I think we're going to have, I don't call it, you want to call it a strike, a lockout, a shutdown. I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I don't see good things happening after 2026. And these guys always seem to wait to the 11th hour to work on these deals. And they've got to get it done a lot earlier. But anyways, let's get back to the All-Star game tonight. And let's get to the Padres. Rough night for the Padres. Let's start with Manny and Fernando. Manny made one nice play coming in on a ball, made a nice throw to first base, but 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. He was the first recipient of the automatic ball strike review, and he got banged out on strikes there in the first inning. Cal Raleigh, the catcher, asked for the review. Tarek Skubal's a 1-2 pitch, and asked for a review. It was strike 3. He got called out looking. He struck out again in the fourth inning by Joe Ryan of Minnesota. So Manny went 0 for 2 tonight. Fernando, on the other hand, entered the game in the top of the fourth. I took all these notes tonight. I was writing my notes down crazily. Made a nice play in right center field to hold Cal Raleigh to a single, and it actually saved a run. But a good play by Fernando, a good strong throw to second base. I ended up walking, stealing a base, scoring a run, but went 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. So our 2 position guys tonight, neither of them put the ball in play, so a total 0 for 4. Pitching wise, Jason Adam came in the second inning, relieved Clayton Kershaw. How cool is that? If you're coming in to replace one of the great pitchers of all time, Clayton Kershaw, Jason Adam pitched to one batter, a third of an inning, struck out Ryan O'Hearn looking to end the second inning. And then Adrian Morejon came in the top of the 7th, and he had a rough one. He faced 2 batters, gave up a hit, a walk, ended up getting taken out, gave up 2 earned runs in the ball game. And then Robert Suarez came in to try to close it out. Top of the 9th, a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, back-to-back doubles, got charged for 2 runs, both earned. And Diaz from the Mets had to close it out to save it from going to the American League. They did score on a little chopper to third base to tie the ball game up late, but the National League ends up winning. I was kind of happy the National League won it. I was happy because our guys were on the team, and hey, we're a National League city here in San Diego, but man, they blew a 6-run lead. And that's only the second win for the National League in the last 12 games. You go back to 2 years ago, 2023, our current catcher, Elias Diaz, playing for Colorado, hit a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. And the National League won that ball game 3-2. So give me your thoughts. I know we're going to get out to questions right now on Coach's Crew. Give me your take on the automatic ball strike system. I thought it worked great today. I have no problem with it. I don't want it to be something where we're doing it 12 times a game, but I think we had, 3, 4 challenges tonight. I thought it all went well. So I was fine with it. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't want it to be on every pitch.